meaningful amount of things to know how little you actually know. Yeah. Pretty sharp, man. You guys feeling all right? All right, I'm going to be quick. I want to make a couple of points. Mo has a couple of things. Hopefully the folks can hear us. Weird time of year. We talked about it, moving through, people taking time off. It's probably, if you're going to create a scale of difficulty, one could argue right now is that I have a tough time even saying it because it's not. I want to be realistic about the landscape to try and equip and prepare you guys mentally and in every other way possible, because it'll provide perspective come January 1st when all of a sudden we're moving real fast and things are happening. And I want there to be the juxtaposition, the contrast, so you can see it, you can feel it. Now, if we're not doing the stuff now to sharpen the sword and prepare ourselves, one, we're not going to make money now, but two, once we start sprinting, you're going to be playing catch up. And there's no reason for that to happen with the things that we've been talking about, right? So here first, it's so corny when people read definitions, but do you guys know what, I'm going to read definitions, what the definition of fundamental is? Man, I kind of know, but I wanted to actually read it. Mike?
Mastering the basics.
Mastering the basics, yeah, if I had to like, Ann?
Foundation is like something
For the
you
root
constantly
word.
build on.
Sure, Ansel, you concur? Yeah, basic principle, rule, or law that serves as the groundwork for an essential system. Any factor that could be considered important to the understanding of a particular business. So it's exactly what you guys said. Yes, you're correct. So, part one, we know what the fundamentals are, and we know that they're key to doing anything, right? So two, I hold in my hand 3 fundamentalists, things we got to know like that. And if we don't know these things, or at least aware of them, we're not always going to execute them all the time. But knowing them is fundamental. So from my perspective, to look at needs and what we, I want to make sure that the fundamentals are down. So Claire, give me one of the fundamentals needed on every call.
Active listening.
Active listening, check. You guys know what active listening is, right? Mike, another fundamental needed on every call.
Building rapport.
Rapport, that's one. Ansel?
Say enthusiasm. Feeling.
Emotion and tonality. I'll give you emotion and tonality for that. Ann, did I already ask Ann?
Feeling.
Yeah, well, that would go with Ansel's, I think. Emotion.
I mean,
Emotion. Anybody have another one?
praise.
Alpha call control.
Alpha call control. Praise does count.
Certainty and decision.
Certainty and decision. Hope and praise.
What's the topic again?
Fundamentals. Fundamentals.
I wrote it down.
Active listening was the one they used. Gotcha.
With everybody's
That,
like,
my
with
friends,
everybody's
is called iron.
That's a perfect example. Like I was thinking this morning, is like
I'm
even
sorry,
I
I'm
looked
off this morning.
I looked at the numbers, right? And I'm like, we had Thanksgiving week, the day 2. We were so far ahead. And I'm not trying to be, but I'm thinking like people are so distracted right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's why it's our job to make
Right,
sure
I
we're
get-
not.
It's like I expected like I would have like a lot more numbers on the board as I sit, but I think I'm not making an excuse. But everybody's distracted. We're trying really hard to stay focused, but our clients are even more distracted
Sure.
than we are.
Sure. So let's take what Ann just said. Let's think of the root. The root, the statement is, right now, clients are distracted. End of statement. What is it about what we do that could help them be less distracted? That's rhetorical. I don't want to get into it right now. It's just to think about, because there's a lot of what we do, and the awareness of the fact that people may be more distracted means that we have to be even more precise in pulling their attention to us. What does that mean, right? Maybe that's an intuitive thing that we learn as we go, because I can't define it for you right now. Within the process, is it staying in rapport a little bit more and getting them to talk about it? Is it being aware of current situations and events? Like we talk about current events in the rapport build and how bringing that stuff up specific makes it come alive, be more unique.
You're a real person.
And when we're in the rapport build, are we, this, that, I gotta ask you, Claire, is it me? Or does everyone just seem a little bit distracted right now? Yeah. I was out taking a walk the other day, people looking around. No one's attention span, Claire. Is staying with anybody. Tonality, inflection. If you're a little bit distracted, don't you agree? Yes. People's attention span. They're just a little bit not with, they're gonna listen. Right? These are the things that happen when the fundamentals are known and being delivered. And great awareness, bring it up. Let's talk about it on the call. Let's go over it. Now, they're aware because the very nature of distraction is that one is not aware they're being distracted, right? And then it's, oh, geez, you realize it and you go, okay, I got to come back to it. So for us, it's a great point. Bringing that up on the call, literally saying it and talking about it is going to eliminate it for the moment you have their attention. Yes?
I got one we missed. That's
I got 11 you missed, but go ahead.
Assumptive selling.
Assumptive selling. That was actually the last one. Good job. Got a cheat sheet over there? Yeah, you do.
Of course I do.
Assumptive selling.
But with that mindset, it just makes it more likely for you to be able to navigate through all the things that make these calls difficult, is assuming that you're going to get the sale regardless.
ABC.
Always be cobbling. That's what shoot people say.
Or close.
Oh, closing. I'm sorry here. Claire, what are 6 fundamentals needed on every call?
You want me to?
Yeah, list them off. We just said them. You can't remember?
Try.
What is a fundamental? What is the definition?
Is it
Really the
basics?
absolute
It's the
basics.
basics.
How about 10 things every day that require 0 sales talent? Those are fundamental. Anybody?
Effort,
Being on time.
energy,
Work ethic, effort, body language, energy, attitude, passion, being coachable, doing extra, being prepared. These are all fundamentals. These are all things that have to be assumed that they're done to build upon in an effective way. So if we're in and we are talking about a mod here or a mod there, but the fundamentals aren't being met, guys, when I coached basketball, both on the high school level and for my son's 5-year-old team, the first week of practice, we didn't touch a basketball. We didn't touch a basketball because they didn't know the fundamentals. They didn't know what a defensive stance looks like, the reason why they're in that stance, the ability to move their feet in the way they have to move their feet, how to work cut off angles and get to spots on the floor, how to set a pick, know what a pick is. These are fundamentals of the game. And then when we did get a basketball, we did a whole other week where there was no shooting. It was dribble, pass. These are fundamentals to be able to play the game. So this stuff is very fundamental. And again, one can overcome with sheer sales ability. But that's like putting yourself out in the wind. Which way is the wind blowing? Claire is successful during Christmas time, not Christmas time, in a tree with a hat, on a house with a mouse. Claire could sell it. So I just want to bring that up as a perspective shifter for us, because human beings in general, myself included, have the propensity to overcomplicate things, no matter what it is. And we all probably, I imagine, I know I can instantly think of a million things that I take and then I overthink or do too, and it becomes, I overcomplicate it. And there's no reason to overcomplicate what we're doing. Sure, it's an elaborate process, but it's one that you learn as you go. And at the end of the day, I know what to do. I know what final expense is. I know who's eligible. I know how to pull a quote, I know how to take it through underwriting. Let's make a friend. Let's do the fundamentals every single time. And if we do, this is not hocus pocus stuff. You will be successful. Everybody in here has been. Varying levels. Mike's still getting his groove going. He's brand new. Claire didn't even write a deal for 3 weeks. It's not true. If we do this, if we work hard, if we know the fundamentals, and then we apply it, you will be successful. So let's not overcomplicate it. If you find yourself overcomplicating, take it back to day one in anything that you do. And that's just recommendation from personal experience. Anytime that I find myself, whether it's been in a previous job in sales where all of a sudden I'm not producing, so we're here to produce now. We're here to produce. If I'm not producing, at some point, what in the hell's going on? I don't know. Why am I doing this? Am I not doing that? Why did that? Maybe I should do that different. What about, wait a minute. How did it feel on my first day? Beginner's luck is not beginner's luck, right? We hear it all the time, beginner's luck. The first time you do something, having success. It's not magic. The reason why that happens is because the first time you do something, you don't know any better. You haven't overcomplicated it. You're excited and you have energy. Simple. So if you find yourself at a point where we're overcomplicating, overthinking, right? I'm not saying don't learn. I'm not saying don't get better. But reel it back to day one. Yes?
Yeah.
Pretty simple, pretty straightforward stuff.
Sir.
I got a call that I got to get on. I know Ms. Mo wants to talk to you guys about a couple things. Let's move through this time together so that when everyone starts getting back in the groove and we start bringing in new classes, we hit the ground running the way we want to. Maximize this time to sharpen your sword.
Sharpen that sword.
You guys are all awesome, especially me.
Andrew?
Yeah. Thank you, Adam.
Hi guys.
I don't know.
Okay, so sharpen that sword, yes. What's funny about Andrew is he knows things without even knowing, well, he knows that he knows things, but he knows things without even needing to hear them, because that's literally what I wanted to touch on as far as, it was mentioned yesterday, it was mentioned again today, but sharpening your sword, and what does that mean? And literally, we have, a day and next week to do that, but what is that? It's literally getting back to the basics. It's literally following the process. It's getting good with the process, not just taking calls and winging it. We know that right now it's a little more challenging than it will be when the year turns over. But while it is challenging, it's not making it up and figuring it out. You literally have it right in front of you. At the very least, if nothing is working, follow the script, read the script. There are color codes in there that tell you when to praise. There are, it's literally the pamphlet, the book, the Bible, it has everything that you need. So it is, again, a more challenging time right now, but this is where you show who you really are. When the game's on and when things are tough, this is when it really shows your true colors. So are you just all over the place, or are you going back to the basics? We are going to, I'm listening to calls, I'm pulling calls, I want to start evaluating coaching, but it's really difficult to do that when you're pulling calls and I can't even figure out what mod you're in, or you're barely going through the mods, or go back to reading. It's that simple. Read with enthusiasm. We spent 2 weeks in training before we took calls so that you guys could figure this stuff out. So if you're not doing that, you're not executing the process. Claire's doing good because she literally does that on each call. She's reading through the script with enthusiasm, and that's all it takes. Angela does good because that's what she does. She reads through the script with tonality, she's not pulling stuff from left field. She go through the script, make the script yours as in how you present it, but present the script. When I was doing well on the phone, it's literally because verbatim, I'm going through the script, using tonality, change, but it's the script, it's right there, mod 2, mod 4, those mods can't be scripted, but those mods need to be touched on. Those mods need to be executed like you've never executed before on each call. You talk to the person, you understand why they're on the phone, you get real with them, talk about current day situations, really talk about it. Like, you guys have all the key pieces to make good money, but if you're not using them, what's the purpose? It comes down to, is it a will thing or is it a skill? Like, you have the skills. If you need help with certain things, help's available. But if I'm going in listening to calls and you're not doing the basic stuff, it's really hard for me to listen to the call, but also to get feedback when for 2 weeks we sat and talked about all these things. So don't get on the floor and let the clients and customers take you out of the game. We are the leaders it's a dance. We know it's a dance. The leads that we get, they don't know about final expense. They don't know about life insurance. They probably no one wants to talk to you. They come on the phone, they don't want to talk to you. It's Christmas, they're shopping. Okay, they don't want to talk to you. Our job is to get them engaged. Our job is to stick to the process and pull them in. Our job is to, you have coverage? Wonderful. Most of the people I talk to have coverage. A lot of people don't know about these types of policies, and you go right back into the script. Hopefully we can get you approved. Building, like all, if you don't know, pull up your script. Not even pull up your script because that should be up anyways, but there are emails that you have. If you need emails, if you need to know what the fundamentals are, you need to see that in writing, I can send that to you if you don't have it. If you, anything that you like, it's all there. It's just using it and deciding to use it every time on every call. With caps are real. We've been very loose with capping calls, but it's getting very expensive to just let you guys go and go and go. Especially when you're listening to the call and you're not following the process on an 8-minute call or an hour and 20-minute call. If you're not following the process, the caps will not continue to be open. So that right now, okay, yes, we have 3 days next week, figure it out, get back to reading if that's what you need to do. Once the year turns over, if you exceed your 10 calls, 12 calls, 15 calls, it's probably going to be 10. But if you exceed them, before you get more calls, I'm going to listen to see if you are executing the process. Again, there are going to be people that get disqualified. They're going to get knocked out. They're going to be GI. Okay, they don't have bank accounts. Okay, that's fair. Those come through. But if it's a call where you let the person go, or it's a call where you were just all over the place, you weren't engaged, you weren't on process, then you're going to have to go back and listen to the videos. You're going to have to listen to training calls. You're going to have to listen to somebody else, because at that point, it's literally just giving money away. So we can't keep doing that. Use this time now to get engaged, get locked in, figure out how to read if that's what the problem is. Whatever you need to do to sharpen your sword, figure it out now, because it's going to be a different ballgame come the first of the year. We're going to start hiring again. We're going to start bringing people in. We can't just have people listening to the 2 people that are following the process. Everyone needs to be following the process. Especially if the 2 people that are following the process are the ones that are hitting the marks and getting their percentages up and making the money. Like, it's obvious. The process works. There's no question about that. It's just you being confident enough in it to execute it every time, regardless of what's going on the other end. Jason?
So just to touch on that, we basically spent the last 2.5 years honing the script and the process. And that was essentially kind of taken from somebody else who had 40 years in the insurance business that kind of gave us the base that we were able to polish. So I've got a folder of probably 100 drafts of that same script dating back from October of 2018 when we started writing it. If you are skipping, every single word is specifically put in place in the right way, in the perfect time. We've changed different things. We've tried giving phone numbers at different times. Everything is there for a purpose, in its perfect place right now. If you skip over any part of the script or don't take it seriously, you're not going to improve the process. It's guaranteed. And again, it's just been proven over and over and over and over and over again that the people that bury their head in the script and literally read it almost verbatim, always, not sometimes, always have the most success, always have the most efficiency, always have the biggest conversion, always use the less billables, always have the highest AEP. There's no guesswork. So it's not a maybe in this customer, but not on this customer. It's literally everything in that script is there purposely. If you're skipping any part of it, you're selling yourself short and you're doing the company and yourself and your paycheck a disservice. So
The cheese is built in, don't leave out the cheese, oh, it's so cheesy. The cheese is built in because of the clientele that we are dealing with. The praise is built in because of the clientele that we're dealing with. All these things are intentional. So you thinking that, oh, this is too much here, this is too much there, it literally is there for a purpose. So if you're not, even if you're not reading it verbatim, again, that's the easiest way to do it because that is what I did and it works. It will not work on every call, obviously, because things happen, but that is the biggest way to guarantee that you are going to be maximizing the calls that you get. So again, the cheese, don't leave it out. The praising, don't leave it out. All of those things are intentional and not just fluff. It builds into the theatrics. This is a performance. It builds into the neuro-linguistic programming that we're doing for the client to help them think about things that they are not comfortable thinking about, that they do not want to think about, that they would rather do 17 million other things than think about. But at the end of the day, you being able to engage into the process, commit to the process, and get them from point A to point Z will help them help their families. And a lot of these people don't even think that that's an option. So it is our job to help them help the people that they love. And we're not helping ourselves or them if we're not following the process.
and also, I'm glad you said that before, just to put it out there and just kind of wipe the slate clean. Our leads are, we'll just say, they're terrible. Nobody wants insurance. Nobody has time. Nobody has money. They never have. Our leads have been the same since we started. And yet, by following the process, we still convert better than any of our buyers that we sell, any of the big guys out there. Prosperity's contacted us directly and said, we have the best conversion. We have the best policies. We have, literally, we're one of the smaller shops, but as far as a policy per agent basis, with our terrible leads that nobody wants life insurance, coupled with our amazing process that if followed correctly leads, we are the best company on an agent per policy basis that is contracted with Prosperity right now.
True story.
And so it's, they get the leads take that out of your vocabulary. Oh, they didn't have any money. They didn't have any time. It was a terrible customer. Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right. They're all like that. They always have been. And yet, even still, we've been blowing every other company out of the water with our process.
It is the process.
Or people could go out and knock doors.
I don't know.
They're getting rid of that.
I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's
they're getting rid
COVID.
of
I mean,
that.
it's a new world.
There's no way
Telephone sales are the way to
avoiding
go. Like we are literally leading we're setting the bar. So don't get left behind because you think that you know better or this was, again, all done with purpose and with intention. So with that being said, take 5, take 2, take 3, refresh, spin around, touch your toes, do what you have to do, but it's go time, so let's get it in.
Can I just
Yes.
say one quick thing too?
Please.
Something that I kind of changed as well, is kind of going off the leads there. With those, it's all about how you think about things. So with the leads, when someone tells me, oh, I have insurance. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I don't think I want that. To me, it's, okay,
That's
challenge
a-
Game
accepted.
on.
That's why it's sales.
That's a key. It's like,
on.
This isn't order confirmation. This is sales.
Exactly.
This would just be in down order confirmation.
It is. Mindset is everything. Literally everything. MOE. Mindset over everything. All right. Kick butts. See y'all on the other side. Morning, Ange. Hey, Brian.
Good morning.
Oh, let's go.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Kick butt today.